The silence that has settled between you and your person is not an empty void, but a sacred, living space. It feels unsettling, perhaps distant, but it is not without a profound and divine purpose. Do not mistake this quiet for a lack of presence, for within it, a deep and necessary work is unfolding. They have entered a chrysalis of the soul, a space of profound transition that demands absolute stillness and a turning inward. This is not a choice made out of disregard for you, but an essential requirement for their own evolution. For what is happening now is a monumental recalibration of their very being. At this time, they are quietly, painstakingly, moving toward a greater sense of inner stability, a foundation of peace and self-possession that they may not have felt for the entirety of their lives. In the past, you were accustomed to a profound intuitive connection, a telepathic understanding that transcended words. You could feel their energy, their moods, their presence, as if it were your own. But now, you may find that the channels feel quieter, the signals less clear. This is not because they have withdrawn from you emotionally, rather, they are in the deep, silent process of healing. They are untangling themselves from the suffocating vines of toxic karmic situations or the heavy, lingering residue of a past that left deep emotional wounds. This inner work, this spiritual surgery, is a solitary affair, and it requires a kind of solitude that cannot be compromised. They must sit with their own shadows, not to be consumed by them, but to shine a light on them, to understand them, and ultimately, to release them. Yet, even in the heart of this great quiet, the energetic cord that binds you two remains unbroken, humming with a powerful, constant frequency. There is a magnetic pull they feel toward you, a gravitational force that is as fundamental as the moon's pull on the tides. They cannot ignore it. You occupy a space in their mind and heart that is completely and utterly inviolable. It is a sanctuary no one else can reach, a chamber of their soul reserved for you alone. In their eyes, you are a living embodiment of powerful archetypes, both the magician and the empress. This means they see you as an alchemist of your own reality, a master of manifestation, capable of conjuring your desires into existence with grace and intention. Simultaneously, they see you as the divine feminine personified, grounded, nurturing, and in full, radiant alignment with the truth of who you are. Your presence holds an aura of quiet confidence, a silent power that needs no validation. And whether or not you are consciously aware of it, they can feel you, your triumphs, your peace, your inner light. You might sense them watching you or thinking of you, a flicker of their energy on the edge of your consciousness, and you would be right. You do not just occupy a corner of their mind, you live there, rent-free, not as a fleeting memory or a passing thought, but as a deep, consistent, and beautiful presence. What they admire most about you is not merely your strength, but the sublime grace with which you carry it. You have cultivated a level of deep self-respect that is not performative, it is a spiritual truth. And because of this, others are naturally compelled to respect you as well. You don't need to demand attention or assert your boundaries with loud pronouncements. Your energy, your very presence, speaks for itself. Your existence is enough, and your person is drawn to that truth with a fierce and profound longing. They are inspired by how you've evolved, how you've taken the jagged shards of pain and suffering and polished them into the pure, unvarnished wisdom of your soul. You now embody a sense of emotional clarity and purpose that was not always there, a transformation that has not gone unnoticed. In fact, it is stirring something within their own soul, a quiet seismic shift that is prompting them to grow as well. They know, with a certainty that settles deep in their bones, that they can no longer approach this connection with immaturity, emotional inconsistency, or shallow promises. Your boundaries, now firm and non-negotiable, have become a sacred mirror for them. They are being pushed to rise, to evolve out of old emotional patterns, and to meet you at your level, a level of spiritual and emotional maturity they are only now beginning to comprehend. It is both humbling and profoundly inspiring for them. Your person is not just thinking, they are quietly planning to take intentional action. Though their first steps may be small, almost imperceptible, they are being taken with a deep and conscious intention. They want to show you that they are serious, not just with empty words, but with actions that reflect consistency, presence, and genuine care. They long to express their love in a way that is deeply tangible, that you can feel with all your senses. For them, this might come through physical affection, through the sacred gift of quality time, or simply by being there for you in the quiet, steady ways they were never before capable of. Their most profound love language could involve touch, closeness, and shared moments of effortless peace, and they want nothing more than to create that sacred space with you. Still, they understand that things are different now. You are no longer where you used to be, emotionally or spiritually. This time around, you are not rushing in with the blind faith of a past self or an unguarded, naive heart. You have done the sacred work. You have grown. You are more cautious now, not out of fear, but out of a deep and knowing wisdom. You have learned to recognize the subtle red flags and, more importantly, to honor your own emotional and spiritual needs without apology. You are standing in your power now, and you are no longer triggered by the same chaotic dynamics that may have once shaken you to your core. Your energy reflects this hard-won transformation, and your person sees it clearly. If anything, it motivates them to move forward with more care and more patience than they ever have before. They understand, with a clarity that finally resonates, that this connection cannot be rushed, forced, or re-entered with the same mindset that once created so much instability. They are learning to slow down, to become more intentional, and to meet you in the physical world with actions that are rooted in maturity and authenticity. There is a quiet determination within them, a willingness to wait, to grow, and to align themselves with the magnificent version of you that exists today. They see your worth, perhaps now more clearly than ever before. They recognize the rarity of your energy and the unique, cosmic bond you share. And while their healing journey is not yet complete, every step of it is being shaped by their singular desire to show up for you in a way that feels real and sustainable, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. And so, in the quiet, I am here. I don't even know where to begin. There's just so much that has been weighing on my mind lately, so much that has been heavy on my heart. It feels like my thoughts have been running non-stop, circling around the same sacred truth over and over again. All I can think about is you. Us. Everything we had. I can hardly concentrate on anything else, because every part of my soul is still holding on to the memories, the profound emotions, the unshakable connection we shared. It's like no matter how much time passes, no matter how many other paths I try to walk, my heart keeps pulling me back to you. I want you. I need you back in my life. And not just because I miss you, but because I finally understand the immeasurable depth of what we had and how much I took it for granted. I've done a lot of reflecting in this time of solitude, and I now realize with a painful clarity how much I placed the emotional weight of our relationship on your shoulders. I made you carry most of the burden, and I see now, more clearly than ever, how unfair that was. I didn't show up the way I should have. I didn't fight for us the way you deserved. And for that, I am truly, deeply sorry. You gave your heart so openly, so honestly, and I didn't always reciprocate with the same energy. I know now that love isn't just about saying the words, about romantic gestures, or grand promises. It's about consistent actions, selfless effort, and unwavering presence. You deserved so much more from me, and our relationship deserved so much better. But please know that I am not the same person I used to be. The person I was back then, that version of me, is a stranger. I'm not okay with who I was. That version of me was distracted, unsure of myself, and emotionally guarded, building walls to protect a fragile heart. But growth, true spiritual growth, happens in silence and in pain. And I have been growing. I have been changing. This new version of me sees things with a clarity I never thought possible. I've learned what it means to truly love someone. Not just when it's easy, when everything is effortless and light, but especially when it's hard, when the shadows emerge and the work begins. I want to show up for you now in the same way you always showed up for me. I want to protect your heart, love you unconditionally, care for you deeply, and enjoy the profound beauty of life by your side. I want to create new memories with you, ones filled with laughter, with peace, with a sense of adventure, and with the feeling of finally being home. You taught me more than you probably realize. Being with you helped me understand that life doesn't have to be lived according to anyone else's rules or expectations. You gave me the quiet strength to take control of my life, to stop allowing others to dictate what I should want, what I should do, and who I should become. You helped me realize that I have the sacred right to choose my own path, to follow my own heart, no matter how many people thought I was lost. And most importantly, you made me feel like I was enough, just as I was, even when I couldn't see it myself. You gave me something no one else ever could, real, tangible hope for the future. For the first time in my life, I was able to picture a future that looked bright, a future I actually wanted, a future where I wasn't just surviving, but truly living, and all of it with you. When I was with you, the world seemed less heavy, less confusing. Your love was a steady, beautiful light in a place that used to feel so dark. I miss you. I miss your warm embrace, your sweet voice, your radiant smile. I miss the profound comfort I found in your presence, the way just being near you made me feel safe, like nothing in the world could touch me. I miss the late-night talks, the shared dreams, the way we used to laugh about the smallest, most insignificant things. I miss the way you believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. Before you came into my life, I was struggling silently, trapped in what felt like an endless dark night of the soul. My own mind was working against me, feeding me thoughts of doubt and fear, constantly reminding me of everything I wasn't. I had become so good at pushing people away, at building walls so no one could see how emotionally fragile I felt inside. I didn't want anyone to know how weak I felt, how afraid I was of being hurt or rejected. But you saw through all of that. You saw the real me, the broken, scared, imperfect version. And you stayed. You held space for me in a way no one else ever did. You gave me acceptance, compassion, and a love so pure it was healing. You didn't try to fix me. You just stood by me, and that alone began to mend parts of me I didn't think could ever be healed. You are my anchor in the storm, my light in the darkness, and my most cherished reminder that love can be safe, true, and utterly transformative. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that my heart still beats for you. If there's even a small chance for us to find our way back to each other, I want to take it. I want to rebuild, not just for the sake of the past, but for the future we can still create together. I want to be the kind of partner you deserve, present, committed, and all in. So, here I am, open, honest, and vulnerable, letting you know that I still believe in us. I still believe in what we had and what we could be. No more excuses, no more fear, just pure, honest love. I'm ready now. And I hope in time you might be, too. This is a time of deep reflection and inner transformation for your person. They're standing at an emotional crossroads, quietly preparing to make a significant shift in your connection, one that moves beyond the superficial and into deeper, more meaningful territory. While they may not express this openly just yet, the internal dialogue has already begun, a slow and steady hum of recognition. They're starting to feel a profound pull towards something real, a connection that is not just a passing affair but a shared existence. Up until now, your person has found a peculiar comfort in keeping relationships light, simple, and on the surface. It was a form of emotional self-preservation, a meticulously crafted shield. By not letting anyone in too deeply, they avoided having to confront past trauma or emotional pain. This approach gave them a false sense of control and predictability. They could maintain their independence, their carefully constructed public image, and their routine without disruption. To the outside world, they seemed self-assured, desirable, and effortlessly in command. Indeed, your person is attractive in ways that draw people in effortlessly. They exude a quiet charisma, and many admire or even idolize them. People respect them, not only for how they present themselves but for the emotional boundaries they seem to masterfully maintain. But now, things are changing. Being with you has challenged every notion they had about connection, vulnerability, and emotional safety. You're not someone who plays by the rules of shallow attachment. You are radiant, magnetic, and strikingly self-assured. Your beauty goes far beyond your appearance. It is in your unshakable confidence, your deep resilience, and your unwillingness to settle for anything less than emotional honesty. You don't just seek love, you seek depth, truth, and a partner who is emotionally courageous enough to face their own shadows. You live with intention. You lead with a soul-deep clarity. You keep yourself 10 steps ahead, not out of fear, but out of a profound understanding of people and situations. And that makes you incredibly rare. To your person, you are both intimidating and captivating. You represent the very thing they didn't even know they were missing. For perhaps the first time, they've encountered someone who doesn't just mirror their strengths, but also holds up an honest mirror to their deepest vulnerabilities. With you, they can no longer hide behind charm or superficial closeness. You see beyond the mask, beyond the defense mechanisms, and you see the truth of their heart. You've shown them that real love isn't about avoiding pain, it's about moving through it with someone who won't abandon you when it gets hard. This realization has stirred something powerful within them. They're beginning to understand that emotional depth doesn't have to mean chaos or loss of control. Instead, it can be grounding, transformative, and even healing. And they are beginning to believe that you may be the one person who can walk with them through that transformation. The fear is still there, of course, the fear of letting go, of getting hurt, of not being enough. But there's also a growing courage within them, a part of their soul that is awakening to the beautiful possibility of what this connection could become if they fully embraced it. You, on the other hand, are not interested in halfway connections. You have grown past the stage of entertaining anything that doesn't honor your emotional and spiritual standards. You're not looking for perfection, but you do seek integrity, vulnerability, and a deep willingness to grow. When it comes to matters of the heart, you don't just want a partner, you want a co-creator. Someone who doesn't run when things get uncomfortable. Someone who chooses loyalty and honesty not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. You don't fear intensity, you embody it, and that makes you incredibly powerful in love. Your person knows this. And though it may overwhelm them at times, it also draws them in like nothing else ever has. They admire your strength, your presence, and your unwavering standards. They may not yet know exactly how to rise to your level, but they are slowly beginning to realize that staying where they are, comfortable yet unfulfilled, will no longer be enough. They are starting to believe that you are the only one who truly understands their unspoken desires and the depth of their hidden emotions. To them, you are not just a romantic interest. You are a catalyst, a mirror, a muse. In their heart, they feel that only you can meet them on the level where their deepest fantasies and most sacred needs reside. You ignite something in them they cannot explain. And they are beginning to understand that this connection might be the one that redefines love for them entirely. While the road ahead may not be smooth or predictable, it promises to be transformative if they are brave enough to take that next step. And quietly, patiently, they are preparing to do just that.